something.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Welcome here, everyone. At this time, I'd like to give the opening to Councillor Bill Hiebert.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 1 week from today, we celebrate Remembrance Day. Tonight, I would like to remind us the importance of this day and why we celebrate it. Remembrance Day is celebrated to honor and remember the sacrifices of men and women who have served, and of also those who paid the ultimate price of laying down their lives in order for us to have peace and freedom. It is a day to pay tribute to all veterans from all wars and conflicts to ensure their contributions are never forgotten. Here are 5 key reasons for celebration. Number 1 is the honor to sacrifice. The primary purpose is to recognize the tremendous sacrifices, hardships, fears that soldiers willingly endured for the sake of their countries and their future generations. Number 2 is to acknowledge the cost of freedom. By remembering, people acknowledge the high price paid for the freedoms enjoyed today, reinforcing the understanding that peace is not to be taken for granted. Number 3 is to promote peace. The day serves as a poignant reminder of the horrors of war, encouraging a commitment to resolving conflict through dialogue and working towards a future of peace and unity. Number 4, historical remembrance. It originated as Armistice Day to commemorate the end of World War I hostilities on November 11th, 1918, at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. It has since expanded to include all who have served in subsequent conflicts and peacekeeping missions. Number 5 is to educate future generations. Public ceremonies and school assemblies help teach younger generations about the significance of history, fostering a sense of gratitude and respect for veterans. How it is observed. On November 11th each year, many people observe a 2-minute moment of silence at 11 o'clock to focus their thoughts on those who have died. Ceremonies are held at memorials, cenotaphs across the country, which often includes the laying of wreaths, the playing of the last post, and a reading of the poem In Flanders Fields. The wearing of the red poppy, which grew on the battlefields of Flanders, is another widely recognized symbol of remembrance. In Steinbach, Remembrance Day ceremonies are held at the Pat Porter Active Living Center, number 19 Chrysler Gate, starting at 11:45 on November 11th. Followed by a laying of wreaths at the War Memorial at the corner of Reimer and Main Street. Thanks to all who have served and are still serving to protect our peace and freedoms. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hiebert. Council, we have the agenda in front of us, and before we adopt it, I just want to add one item, 11E. This is the road widening bylaw, 2269. This is Friesen Avenue, and we want to do second and third reading today, and it's in the supplementary package that was in the mailbox today. So I just want to add that, and then I would look for a motion to approve. Councillor Hiebert, second by Councillor Siemens. Call for the question. All's in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Council, we have the minutes of October 21, 2025, regular council meeting. We've all had a chance to review. Looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Hiebert, second by Councillor Siemens. Call for the question. All's in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Council, is there any business arising from the minutes? Okay, seeing none. There is no public hearing, no delegation, so we'll go directly into reports and recommendations of our city manager. This is 8A. It's on starts on page 5. This is the contracted security pilot program. Mr. Worting, could you please introduce this file?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. With your consent, I would like to refer this and all remaining items on today's agenda to the city's Senior Manager, Corporate Services, Mr. Adam Thiessen.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Thiessen.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At the public meeting on June 17, Council authorized administration to explore and procure contracted security services to enhance monitoring and deter criminal activity within the city. Steinbach Security Services was contracted to deliver services on a pilot project basis, operating month to month beginning July 2nd and continuing to the end of November 2025. Funding for this initiative was drawn from the unspent portion of the RCMP budget allocation, and estimated budget required to continue the program in 2026 is $145,000. So since the programs began, we've been collecting some information as we go. Recently got in contact with the RCMP as well as a few local developers to see if they had noticed the difference since the program began. And what we've heard back from all of them is that the experience has been positive, with reduced theft and vandalism being noticed by developers, and RCMP able to focus on higher priority matters in general. Based on current available findings, administration is recommending a continuation of the overnight security patrol pilot program for the remainder of 2025. And for 2026 and following years, administration recommends that the program be reviewed as a part of the city's annual budget discussions, and that the program be continued until or unless RCMP staffing complements can adequately address concerns regarding overnight property crimes such as theft and vandalism.
Thank you. Mr. Thiessen, according to your recommendation, has this been put on the agenda for our fall study session?
I'm not privy to that agenda, but I do know that it's.
I can't remember. I know we've looked at it a few times, Mr. Morkenine. I can't remember if this was on there.
Not as a specific agenda item. It would be part of the city's operating budget that is being proposed and recommended by administration for council to consider and determine if it's appropriate.
Okay, so it will be in the operating budget?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then that is one way that it can get talked about if it comes to that meeting. Good.
It will.
Okay. Councillor, is there any questions? Go ahead, Councillor.
I'm prepared to make a motion, so if there's questions,
Okay.
I'll let others ask.
Yeah. Any questions?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Mr. Thiessen. Can you refresh my memory? Is this a patrol that goes 7 days a week, every evening? Or what's the parameters around it?
Yes, that's correct. It's 7 days a week, 10 to 6 are the hours that they're operating.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything further? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will make a motion that we adopt the staff recommendation, so specifically continuing the patrol program to the end of the year, and then also that it tentatively be included in the 2026 budget pending final budget deliberations.
Is there a seconder by Councillor Susan Penner? Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think that this is an innovative way to address some of the crime problems that we've been seeing in Steinbach. As a council, I think we've shown that we are not just simply waiting for the RCMP to send additional officers, but that we are willing to take additional steps to try to deal with some of the crimes that have been identified. And in this case here, we're talking about property crime. And so the feedback that we've received, both from the RCMP and also from some of the developers who had raised some of these concerns initially, is that this program is having a positive impact. It's reducing incidents of vandalism, and it sends a message of deterrence, because obviously if you have someone that's patrolling in an area, you're less likely to commit a crime because you're going to get reported to the police, and people who commit these kinds of crimes tend to do so when they think that there's no one watching. And so I really do appreciate the way that Steinbach Security provides that visible reminder that we take public safety seriously. And I just want to especially commend the work of our corporate services manager, Mr. Adam Thiessen, who has done excellent work in this area and working together with Steinbach Security and looking at the various options. So I think he's put together a very good proposal. And so I'm happy to see that if we can get this program to continue.
Anything further?
Yes, I have heard multiple comments, anecdotally at least, in the community, how positively this has impacted our community in terms of a reduction in vandalism and property crime. What's really neat about this as well is it's the money that we're spending on this is money we budgeted towards RCMP. So in terms of our budget, it's not like there's additional money coming out to pay for it. We're just reallocating money that's been budgeted towards safety in our community.
Anything further? Anything closing?
I'll just add one thing, Mr. Mayor, if I could. The amount that this would cost to continue the program in 2026 is $145,000. That is less than what we spend on one RCMP officer, when you factor in, not just salaries, but all the other costs and benefits and such. And so for the cost of less than one officer to get this additional level of patrols going on within our city, I think this is a very good investment.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Council, I've heard only good things about this initiative. And I do remember the day that we met with community members and developers, business people, and they brought their concerns forward and how they were being broken into and constantly being thieved and ransacked, and just the cost that was costing them. And later on, months later, talking to them and saying how many of them said it was day and night difference, and that they thought this was a great thing and that they're very thankful. And I think this has been, for the money it's costed, I think this has given us a great repayment. I think for the investment, I think what we're getting is amazing. Talking with Joanne, our acting staff sergeant, she says it allows her members to work on other higher RCMP priorities, that they feel that there are an extra eyes, ears in the community. And it helps them to monitor areas that they physically couldn't go to because we've got the security company doing that. I think this is a great, another layer of safety for our community. And I think it helps keep Steinbach safe. We are a safe community, but it helps keep us safer. So I support the motion as well. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. We've got 8B, and that is in the supplemental information. Request for approval, lift station 1 generator. Mr. Thiessen, you were in the hot seat today, as deferred by Mr. Worthing, so I will turn to you to introduce this file.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, this is part of our planned project for 2026, where we're upgrading lift station 1, as well as twinning the force main going from lift station 1 to the lagoon. So the part of that project is upgrading the generator to a 1,500 kilowatt unit there, and the lead times on that equipment are quite a bit longer than would fit in the typical tender process, where we would normally tender in February for capital projects, but because the lead time is longer for the generator, we're requesting council's approval to procure the generator now, as recommended by Associated Engineering from Tormount Cat, for a price of $670,600 plus applicable taxes, so that it can be installed in step with the construction progress next summer.
Okay, thank you. Council, how would you like to proceed? Councillor Susan Pinner, motion approved.
Yes.
Second by Councillor Siemens.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Pinner.
Well, any project that improves water flow and drainage in our community is likely something I will be in support of. This is just a part of the bigger project we've been working on for the twinning of the force main. I think the rationale makes sense based on the lead time to get this in the works. So hopefully it can be delivered on a timely basis when we need it to be installed as a part of the project.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Pinner.
Nothing further.
Anything further of council? Anything in closing? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. We had 9A, accounts payable, back of the book. We've all had a chance to review. Looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Hiebert, second by Councillor Siemens.
I think we need to pay.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. We've got the financial statements ending September 30th, 2025. That's also in the back of the book. Had a chance to review. Looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Penner, second by Councillor Hiebert. Any comments?
No comments.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. We got 9C. This is bylaw 2267. This is referring to August Cove. We will be doing second and third reading today, and it starts on page 7 on our package. And Mr. Thiessen, could you please introduce this file?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This is an SCDC owned piece of property where they're planning to subdivide some land just south of Acres Drive. And as you can see in the drawing up on the screen there, there's an existing drain at the south end of the property highlighted in red there. And what this bylaw does is it creates a plan of works to designate that as permanent drainage so that the city can maintain it over the long run, even after those lots have been sold and built upon.
Thank you. Council, how would you like to proceed? Councillor Hiebert,
Motion to approve.
second by Councillor Swagstra. Go ahead, Councillor Hiebert.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The drainage ditch that's required here obviously is part of the subdivision in order to make it a proper subdivision and avoid future flooding. The drain is at the back there, and I went to have a look at it. It's what I like about it is that the city is going to maintain the drain, and it becomes part of our upkeep. It's better than I like it because if we have private individuals running that drain, there's a possibility that it will not be kept up. So I approve of the plan.
Thank you. Anything further?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think Councillor Hiebert has summed that up very well, and I have nothing to add.
Okay. Anything further of council? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. We'll go directly into third reading for a motion to approve. Councillor Penner, second by Councillor Siemens. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. It seems like every year there's a new subdivision that's coming up in our industrial park, usually spurred on by SCDC. And this is something that we want to make sure that we have lots that are desirable, and part of that is that they're not covered in water. So it's good to have drainage at the back there, as well as Councillor Hiebert had said, it's good to have the city in control of it. So we know that it's being maintained.
Anything further?
Nothing further.
Anything of council? Closing. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. 9D, the ICIP grant extension. This is for the event center, and it's done by resolution. I'll give this to Mr. Thiessen to introduce. It looks like we need an extension to complete the event center.
Yes, there are a number of smaller outstanding items that we are working with Graham Construction to have completed. And since they aren't completely finished yet, we're asking to extend the ICIP deadline to September 30, 2026, so that we can comply with the terms of that agreement.
Okay. Just a question, what was the original deadline?
That is a good question.
I believe the current deadline for the ICIP program was October 31st, 2025.
Okay. Need an extension then. Councillor Susan Penner make the motion, second by Councillor Swagstra. Go ahead, Councillor Penner.
Thank you. I think it makes sense for us to ask for an extension, and hopefully we'll be gracious and understanding. The project was a massive scope, so it makes sense that in the course of a project, an $80 million project, that there'd be some delays and things might take longer than expected. So it's close. It's very close. So this isn't, I don't think, a huge request, but if we could have the time, that would be much appreciated.
Anything further?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Obviously, it is not uncommon for large projects of this nature to take longer to finish than originally projected. And so therefore, it's probably not uncommon that these types of deadline extension requests go in. And so we obviously want to make sure that that we're complying with the terms of the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program. So it makes sense that we request this extension.
Okay, thank you. Anything further of council? Anything closing? Call for the question. All's in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, we're at council question period, or there? Oh, yes. No, that's 11, 11E, 11E. 11E,
Not 9, oh, 11E.
11,
11E.
correspondence and petitions.
Oh, it should be 9E, sorry, I did it wrong. It's 9E, sorry, guys. So this is the road widening bylaw 2022-69 for Friesen Avenue. This also will be second and third reading. Well, Mr. Thiessen, you're up again.
Thank you, Mr.
Please
Mayor.
introduce this file.
The purpose of bylaw 2269 is to essentially provide sufficient space to install a future sidewalk at the intersection of Friesen and Elmdale Street. And there is a drawing at the very back of your supplemental package and also up on the screen here. So it's just this little piece here that will allow us to put a sidewalk that can connect over to Elmdale one day. Since the property owner at 300 Friesen is in the process of subdividing, it makes sense to request that they provide this easement at this time. So a recommendation is for council to give bylaw 2269 second and third readings, subject to the execution of a consent expropriation agreement.
Okay. Council, how would you like to proceed? We're looking for second reading. Motion to approve,
Motion to approve.
second by Councillor Hiebert. Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. It's not uncommon that when there are improvements to critical lots in our central business district, lots that haven't necessarily had much work done on them, especially in my time and some of the longer lifetimes even of council members here, that the city takes the opportunity to then have land available to offer improvements to the infrastructure, this one being a sidewalk. So mobility downtown, especially walking mobility, is important. It's important to keep our downtown lively and vibrant, and this is a good addition to be able to have that in the future. But first we need to appropriate the land in order to be able to facilitate that one day.
Thank you very much, Councillor Penner. Anything further, Councillor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I agree with Councillor Penner, his comments, but this area was vacant for a couple of years and is now seeing construction and apparently more construction coming in the near future. So this is a great plan. Thank you.
Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. We'll go directly into third reading. Looking for a motion to approve third reading. Councillor Hiebert, second by Councillor Penner. Go ahead.
No further comments, thank you.
Okay. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Are there any questions of council? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into correspondence and petitions, 11A. This is the Seine Roseau Watershed District. These are the minutes of September 16th and September 24th, 2025. Council, how would you like to proceed? Take as information. Okay. You've got 11B. This is the Agape House Domestic Violence Awareness Month. November is their Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This is the Ribbons of Hope. These are those purple ribbons that we had last year. This is not a request for funding or anything. The only thing that comes attached with this letter is that, just like our poppies that we have these ribbons for sale at our city hall. You just put a donation in, get a ribbon. And so, council, how would you like to receive, take as information and allow them to have the ribbons here? Okay. Great. 11C, this is Crime Stoppers 2026 fundraising campaign. Council, would you like to proceed? Take as information at this time. Okay. And the Silo Silica Corporation, this is 11D. This is referring to the environmental license application. Council, on page 22. Council, I think at this time, we have had this before with the previous silica sand mining. At this time, I think we should take his information and then reserve the right to review at a later date. Is that something that we can agree to, council? Okay. So, Mr. Wardeen, Mr. Thiessen, I think what we'll do is we'll take it as information today. And if staff, you know, if you come up with anything, any concerns, we can review at a later date. What is the deadline for us giving comment?
Commenting deadline is December 1st, 2025.
Okay,
So if administration does find anything of concern that we feel should be brought to council's attention, that would be brought forward at the next council meeting.
okay, I think I think that's quite fair, council. You agree with that? Okay, good.
Have a question?
Go
Through you, to administration. What the last proposed silica sand, I think we formally objected to the plan, did we not?
Object isn't quite correct. The city of Steinbach, along with several area municipalities, did proceed to jointly hire consultants to investigate the application and voice the group's concerns at the public hearings that were held subject to the Environmental Act license that CO Silica had submitted. And essentially the group report and the consultant report that was presented at the public hearing provided a framework and a list of concerns that the area municipalities had should that proposal proceed. And, generally, it's my understanding that the body or the panel that was hearing that particular matter did take those concerns into consideration upon issuing their final report.
Will there be another, is this a precursor to formal public hearings and the whole process start over again?
It's an Environmental Act license application. The Provincial Environment Department, to my understanding, may, depending on any information that is received during this public consultation period, it'll depend on what information they receive. I'm not quite certain whether or not the Manitoba Environment Department has the authority to approve a license outright. But because of the Clean Environment Commission hearing that was held during the last application, that was a decision of government that was made subsequent to that hearing.
Okay. I would like to comment.
Okay.
I would like to, as you review it as administration, whether we should object, or maybe together with other municipalities as well, because all the municipalities are drawing their water from the same aquifer. So that they're affecting, it's downstream from us, but it would still ultimately potentially have an effect on our water. So we need to be diligent, as we have in the past, so.
Noted. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So then, council, at this time, we'll take as information, and if there's anything flagged by our staff, we will review before the next council meeting, and then we can deal with it that way. If there is a comment to be made, I believe that this is what they're trying to do, is gather comments from the municipalities that are affected, and then from their. I mean, last time we joined what, 12 municipalities, and we got consultants, and we presented at a public hearing all of our concerns.
Okay.
And so, but I think at this time, we'll leave it with staff, and staff will get back to us if there are concerns that we should be commenting on. Okay? Okay, there are no other businesses. We're looking for a motion to adjourn. Councillor Penner, second by Councillor Penner. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Next regular council meeting is Tuesday, November 18th,